Hey, Caliper, how's it going? Yeah, I want to work on that deck, and I want to work on the Catchermost deck. Because one of those two decks is what I'm going to play in the standard stuff we have going on here this weekend. Doing good, doing good. I think the Doom deck I think is better than the Catchermost deck. So I think I want to focus most of my energy on that deck. Just want to figure out what I want to do with the sideboard and the main if we want to change anything around. Oh, that's sad. Not a sealed person. Sealed is not where I like to be. In the pouring rain. Ninth every time? Ouch. That sucks. That's a feel bads. No, it's great. I mean, and Stock Up is such a powerhouse of a card. I love that card. And I think that this, like, since the Pixie list and some of the other lists are starting to get a little bit bigger, like, playing, like, a true control deck like this just makes the most sense. It's good against the super aggro decks, and it's way better against the bigger mid-range decks. Hey, 26 Lands, how's it going? Puzzle, hope you're having a good night. Done some extensive work on cats. How are the cats going? Humming nicely. The list looked pretty sweet when you shared it last time I saw it. Looked really cool. Purring. It's purring nicely. It's kind of rude. Who plays Terra Sunder in the main? I figured our Maze Mind Tome would be very safe. Well, they're not going to miss land drops. We'd really love to find a Jace or a Stock Up. Like, Jace or Stock Up would just be fantastic. Watching between. Nice. Nice. I wish I could find the motivation to go to the gym. I need to. Squeeze some enchantment hate in the main. That's looking pretty clean. I'm not sure what you could play in the main for enchantment other than, like, Pop Patch formation. Oh, Stock Up. Hello. God, this is a good card. I know, man. That's kind of what I would like to do, but I don't think you can make Esper work in this deck. I think that's just you're asking way too much in your mana base if you try to do that. Not that the mana base is like bad, but it's definitely not worth it to add the extra color, I don't think. I mean, I'll just keep drawing cards. I'm A-okay with just my Stock Up finding Stock Up plus X card. Yeah, Esper's just a little too rough, and I don't actually think we even really need the white. Like, our mana's pretty good. Like, not just our mana's good, but I think our, like, removal suite and everything we have going on is just fine the way we are. They found a binding. I would love to find a demon. Oh, hey, look at that, chat. We did it. We found a demon and a Jace. That's even better than just finding a demon. I'm wondering if we are supposed to have a third Doomsday Extractor in the board for these domain matchups just to make it so that, like, games 2 and 3 we have a very easy time winning. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, three color mana bases are just rough right now. Like, even in the Esper Pixie list, they're just, honestly, they're just bad. Like, want that. I would like to cast a Doomsday Extractor. I would like to extract the Doom. Correct. No, you can't play a bunch of pain lands because like you can't take a bunch of a bunch of damage from the red decks, and the red decks are the matchups where you need your colored sources like to be tapping for whatever colors you need. You can't just wait around. So I just think that it's just not worth it. Like all we'd get would be like good enchantment removal in our colors would be like literally the only thing we're adding, or like maybe Beza or something, but it's not. It's just not worth it. I do think we need one more thing in our board for these matchups, because we've got a lot of stuff I really want to take out. We just don't have space for it. So I think our sideboard's not quite built properly. Because, like, this is what I want to take out in this matchup. So we're one sideboard slot too heavy on the aggro matchup, so I think we need to find one more card in our board, which is probably just the third Doomsday Extractor. Because, like, I'm not happy with any of the rest of these cards, really, in our deck post-board. So I think I just play a cut down because it kills her for 1 mana. Like, Harvester's okay because it kills the tokens, but I don't think that's worth it. We don't want Phyrexian Obliterator because it just dies to all the removal spells and doesn't really get us any advantage. Like, Ghost Vacuum would be the other one. I mean, the cut's probably Demolition, or it's probably the other Harvester of Misery that's in the board, I would guess. So, we've only played... We put the 4th Jace in the deck, like, very end of the last stream. So I've only played, like, 2 games with 4 Jaces in the deck. This is our 3rd game with the 4 Jaces. It might be overkill, but it's also just, like, a good... even against the red decks, if you go removal spell into Jace, you're probably just winning the game, because that Jace is going to lock down a creature, force them to overextend into your Wraths. So Jace isn't really bad in any matchups. Again, it's not ideal against control, but... Or not control, I mean. It's not ideal against red, but I think it's still, like, reasonable. This hand is turning out very bad. The main reason we kept it is because we have a duress to take a beans. Like, that's the only reason we kept this hand. The Hedge Maze. Hey, Sky, how's it going? Oh, they drew an Overlord off the top. So lucky. No beans is great for us. Like that, as long as we can keep beans out of play, this matchup's not so bad. Of course, they draw another one. I think we're supposed to draw a card. Maze My Tome's not a bad draw. It's just gonna get countered though, which sucks. I'm supposed to play it anyway. I suppose if they negate this, it's fine. Okay. It does sound like Nine Inch Nails, but it does not. It starts out kind of like that. The Electric Call Boy. Or Ice Nine Kills, I mean. Yes, it does. It does sound a little Ice Nine Killsy to start. Stop ripping the things. Oh, the last song? What was the last song? I don't even remember. Oh, it's because it was Ice Nine Kills. That is why. It was Ice Nine Kills, their 8-bit track. They did a whole album of just 8-bit music, and it is cracked if you haven't listened to it. It is so good. But yes, it was. It was Ice Nine Kills. Yeah, they did it's like 9 or 10 songs that are all like 8-bit tracks. So good. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Draw card, swamp, not great. So here, I am going to kill one of these, which is a little awkward. But I want to be able to deadly cover up here and take all the rest of their beans out of their deck. Hey, Stokes, how's it going? Stoke of Midnight, or is Stroke of Midnight? I would have to read that card again. I don't know what it does off the top of my head. So, yeah, I think beans is what we're supposed to take here. They brought in a River Turn Monument? What the hell? This, that might be the other card we're supposed to have on our board, actually, is a River Turn Monument. 4 Rides Ends. They bring in 3 River Turn Monuments? Psychos. They were ready for this matchup. Short target online permanent's controller creates a 1/1 white human token. I mean, it's probably better to just play the 2-mana one, right? The 2 white one. Yes, I will be most likely playing this deck in paper this weekend. I got all the pieces for it, so that's like my plan. I really like this deck. I just need to figure out what I want to do with the board. The 2 white... Oh, Parting Gust. You're already playing 3. Or is that only creatures? Oh, it's only creatures. I thought it was an online permanent. Okay, never mind. No, Stroke's fine. I don't hate that card. I would probably be more tempted to play Destroy Evil in the main. Would be like the thing that I would gravitate towards. I think Destroy Evil's like a fine card. Stock Up is great. I take Jason Duress, right? I have not tested Tidebinders in the board yet. No, I think that is a very reasonable card to be playing as well. Tishana's Tidebinder is a cracked Magic card. The problem I have with Tishana's Tidebinder is that it's kind of an awkward card for us to play. Because we're not aggressive in any way, shape, or form, so it's just going to be a 3/2, and it doesn't really contribute to our normal game plan. Kaito and Artifact 8, that is nice too. It does do a lot. Like, a card does do a lot of things for you. The Stoke does. Go ahead. We might try some Oil Deep Gearhulks today in the main. One of the people on Twitter that commented about my deck said that they were playing a similar list but with some Oil Deep Gearhulks in the main and they really liked it. So, I think we might try that. We'd have to play with the mana a little bit. I think we'd have to ditch the Obliterators in the board at that point. We'd have to play some actual islands. I don't have the end in this list. I think it's too expensive. I I feel like the end in this deck is not an appropriate use for that card. I could use a foil Doomsday Extractor. I have 2 promo Doomsday Extractors, or not promo, but like alt-art Doomsday Extractors, and that's all I have. So I would love to get a foil one. Oh, you have one. Ah, I want it. Defabricate might be fine. I don't hate that card. I think Defabricate's just fine. We drew a negate. How do I feel about a negate? Not that good about it, actually. Are we just full mana Jacing and -3 on a OP here? We could just Jace, mill them for 15, and then try to kill them with a second Jace. We have 2 Jaces left in our deck. We did throw one on the bottom of our deck. So we only really have 1 effective Jace in our deck. Yeah, I don't think we can do that. I think we just have to do this. Full mana and then -3 on them. That is really bad for us, actually. Now we might actually just have to cash it in for -15. Yeah, they're going to swing with Overlord this turn, so I think now we are... Well, before we were able to hold up a removal spell. So now we scry and see what we have on top of our deck, and then we do this and just 15 them. That's going to get milled. We're going to do this. Good. Opponent didn't take the opportunity to river churn us. I think opponent was supposed to. How are you doing tonight, roaming boss? I've toyed around to Defabricate. I think that card's pretty good. I do think our sideboard is a little bit lackluster for what I want. Yeah, Come Back Wrong I don't think is probably good enough. I do like that card, though. I've won a few limited games with that thing. Come Back Wrong is hilarious. I'm actually fairly certain we are going to have a really hard time beating this River Churn Monument. We just eat all the cards out of our graveyard here. I am too. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I'm excited to play some standard on Arena. More standard. I mean, that's pretty much all we do here is play standard on Arena, but it's always a good time. The reason we exiled everything out of our graveyard is because it makes the exhaust on this less good. So that's where I'm at for that. I like Blot Out, but I don't know if it's necessary right now, because like the main draw for Blot Out is to be good against the 4-mana Curiosity, but that card basically is not existent right now in Standard. That's a slight problem. I don't think we're winning the race at this point in time. Yeah, opponent's got 1 blue source they can use right now. Technically, they'll have 2 starting next turn, so we need to be a little bit careful of that. I do need to find another land here. Or, yeah, if we find another untapped land next turn, we can Restless Reef again. Or we can double Restless Reef starting next turn, which is pretty good. It's another reason I don't think River-Torn Monument's, like, particularly good in opponent's deck. Oh, it's only one colorless? Oh, I thought it was a blue to do that. Huh. That's not good. At least they can only exhaust one in a turn. They can't exhaust both. We get a mill for 8 a turn. I don't think we're going to come out ahead on this unless we can, like, naturally find a Jace. Yeah, the exhaust is the scary part. They draw a removal spell? Seriously? That's annoying. They drew a Rides in too, like Leyline Binding wouldn't have done anything here. Yes, I did not like the Vault at all, really. It was like, the Vault was fine. The problem was the mana investment in it was too much, I think. Like, I know it only costs 1 to activate, but that 1 was pretty rough most of the time. They are playing 3 monuments in their list, which is absurd. It is so many. So many monuments from opponent. They're tapping in a very strange way to cast their Green Overlord. Just trying to make sure they or have as many blue sources as possible. They have 17 cards left in their deck. Kill your Overlord. Oh, I don't think we're gonna make it, chat. I don't think our little measly beaters are gonna get there. Opponent decided they really did not want to lose to our deck. Doesn't matter what we surveil into, we're leaving it on top. They're gonna mill us anyway. That's sad. We're supposed to draw that in response to them milling us, right? I'm kind of wondering if we're supposed to be playing 1 River-Torn Monument in the sideboard or 2. The problem is River-Turn's not as good against them. Like, it's still really good, but they have Leyline Bindings that can get rid of it. So, like, in this matchup, I think I'd rather just have a 3rd Doomsday Extractor. Something that they can't really interact with. They don't have enough blue sources to do that. They only have 3 blue lands, so they can't double exhaust us this turn. That was a pretty bad Atraxa, actually, which is good for us. Oh, big mill guy that hits half their deck. Does that do it on... That doesn't do it on enter. Does it have to deal combat damage? Or does it just have to attack? Because that one has Unearth too, doesn't it? They have 9 cards left in their deck. We have 2 Jaces in our deck, I think. We gotta look through what we've milled. Let's find a Jace, shall we? Has to attack. Okay. Just attack? Okay, that's not as bad then, because that means Ride's End doesn't stop it. Oh, don't mill a Jace, don't mill a Jace, don't mill a Jace. Okay, thank God. Ah, I got it. Now I duress them, make sure that one of those 2 unknown cards isn't a duress. Ooh, Realmbreaker. I like Realmbreaker. That's probably the correct choice, right? Realmbreaker is. That's better than Riverturn Monument. It's interesting that they're playing like 3 Riverturn Monuments post board, but not playing any Jaces. I feel like you should be playing probably 2 or 3 Jaces before you even enter the first Riverturn Monument. It did. Drawing with that tome was 100% the reason we won that game. Like the Surveil with the land, wait till they tap their thing to get rid of the top card of our deck, and then clutch drawing the stock up. Exactly what we needed. I know, there's so many cards we want to play, there's not enough room. Can we just have a 30-card sideboard, but just for this deck only? Our worst matchup with this deck? That's a good question. Probably straight blue-white control, where they're, like, any deck that's playing a reasonable amount of counterspells is probably a bad matchup. But the problem is we've got duresses and stuff. I don't think this deck has like a matchup that you're more than 40, like that you're worse than 40% to win. But that's probably just, it's probably the aggro deck still. Like, even, it's so hard to get above 50% against the red decks, like in a meaningful way. That's why I like having the Obliterators in the board, because it makes those matchups so much better. Because game 1's pretty difficult for us to win, I would say. So we wanted one more control card in the board. I think it's supposed to be cutting the Harvester of Misery. I think we're supposed to cut the Harvester of Misery, and I think we're supposed to add either Riverturn or 3rd Doomsday Extractor. What do we want to try? Do we want to try 1 Riverturn Monument, or just want to go with the 3, or go with the 3rd Doomsday Extractor? What do we think is actually better? Think so? It's true. I think finding Doomsday more consistently is better. We have a lot of ways to find this. It might honestly just be like another big card draw spell. Well, I'm wondering if it's actually supposed to just be a 3 steps ahead, because that's also just like a card advantage piece that we could play, like a counter spell and draw 2. Might be worth it as just another way to find our our Doomsday Extractors. We could just put 3rd counter spell on the board. I don't hate that either. Like, I think any of these are reasonable. It does. I think I'm gonna put a 3rd Doomsday on the board. I think. I don't know, we'll see what we think about that. I could be wrong on 4 Jaces in the main, but I really like the Jaces. They've been overperforming for me every time we played them. It's been like consistently one of the best cards in our deck. Well, this matchup's probably damn near unwinnable. I think we might have found the bad matchup, chat. I don't think we're ever beating the artifact deck, ever, in a million years. Ooh. Get him, change the equation. Get him. The 𝔹𝕃ℂ𝔻 deck is really good. I think if you pull up my deck list on Untapped, I think this position we have that deck in right now is fantastic. I think that the last iteration we played is really good. We've got it to a really, really solid position, I think, for Standard. I definitely would recommend giving it a shot if you haven't tried it out yet. Hey, Roaming Boss, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a good night and enjoying the stream. Thanks for coming and checking out the channel. Well, we drew the Doomsday Extractor, so we have a chance, but the problem is we need to live through 2 turns of the stupid 𝔹𝕃ℂ𝔻. Well, that doesn't activate it, so that's good. I think that working with that card is not going to be the most advantageous for anyone to try to do. I do love the Synthesizer, but I do not think that card is particularly good. It is unfortunately one of those cards that requires you to be doing a lot of other things at the same time, and those kind of cards are usually just not that great in Standard. I would love that card to be good. It's just, unfortunately, not very good, I don't think. And force them to do something, I guess. Because if they don't attack Jace here, like if they try to just flip their 1,000 Moons, they just die to our Doomsday Extractor. So I don't think they can do that. They're forced to attack into Jace. And then I just have to hope we live through combat next turn and can win. Which it looks like we probably will. That's the other, like, bonus of playing a deck like this that has a 2-card kill combo, is even your bad matchups can only be so bad because sometimes you just win the game with your combo. Doomsday. You go ahead and keep drawing cards, opponent. Oh, not the Perilous Snare. I was half expecting him to play something that gave their thing haste and just kill me. Yeah, opponent is cooking. Unfortunately for our opponent, they are dead. Mill him. Give him the mill. We got him, chat. We got him. We milled him out, taught him a lesson. So, they're not going to be able to cut all the removals. I don't think this is an Obliterator matchup. Probably a Deadly Cover-Up matchup, though, huh? Definitely negates. No cut downs. Those are good. Cover-Up, that's good. I don't think Ghost Vacuum does us any favors here. Go for the Throat seems particularly bad against the Mono Artifacts deck, so let's go ahead and cut those babies. Harvester of Misery also seems particularly bad here. It's Miller time. That's right. How's it going, Orcs for Life? One Obliterator is probably better than one Harvester of Misery, right? The one Miser Obliterator. Of all of the cards on our sideboard, this seems like the best random one to have in our deck. None of the cards are good, but this one seems like the best of the bad ones. It is a great defender. Yeah, exactly. If they don't have a snare or removal spell for it, they just have to sit there and stare at it. It's not like they can attack their giant constructs into my Obliterator. Duress is everything I could hope for. Honestly, this hand is really good. This hand is about as good as it's going to get for this matchup for us. Oh, baby. Oh, man, do we take the Synthesizer or take the Repurposing Bay? What am I more afraid of? It's probably the Repurposing Bay, right? It's got to be the Repurposing Bay. Because if we take the Synthesizer, the Repurposing Bay just finds more Synthesizers. As annoying as it is, I think that's correct. Opponent, our Maze Mind Tomes are prettier. Four recommission to get back cards you discard with the synth or destroyed. Honestly, 4 recommissions when you're playing. They drew another Repurposing Bay. 4 recommissions when you're playing a bunch of Repurposing Bays to buy your Synthesizers back seems like really good. I want to find another Duress. I failed on finding a Duress, so it looks like it's just stock up time. I love this art for Tome. It's so good. 10 out of 10. Predict the sewers. The Suies. I was always a big fan of the old artifact arts, though. I like the mud-looking artifacts. We shouldn't have to worry about them activating the Repurposing Bay on their Maze Mind Tome here, I don't think. Luckily, they don't have an Enigma Jewel, so them activating Repurposing Bay is kind of annoying for them. There's the Synthesizer we can't get out of play, which sucks. Mighty unfortunate. Yeah. Yep, it is. Let's see what we're working with opponent here. Oh, they have an Enigma Jewel in hand. Don't want another Gloomlake Verge. I think scrying here is about the same as drawing, so I think I'd rather just have a second scry machine out. We're looking for very specific cards at this point. We just need to find ways to... Oh, that's annoying. Need to fill up our graveyard a little bit here. They get a second Synthesizer here. Yeah, I don't know about that. I think Metalworker might be a little too good. A little too good for Standard right now. With all of these random artifacts. The Repurposing Bay Metalworker deck seems pretty strong. Yup. Double Synthesizer. Negate is not good enough. That is good enough. We can be trusted with it. Can we, though? Shit. That's not good, chat. It's not good. Not the brain. Well, I think I know what they're going to name, and I think our demon from our hand is about to go excommunicado here. It does look... Well, yeah, maybe we should... I still don't think we're supposed to keep the negate. I think that we had enough draws to try to find us. I think we did what we were supposed to do. But we are getting punished for it. We made the right play, but getting punished for it, I think. They did. They really did. What did opponent do? Did they name the wrong demon? Did they name something? What's going on? I'm so confused. Did I miss what they named? I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at chat. Did they fail to name Doomsday Extractor, or did they name the wrong Jace or something? I'm so confused. Opponent, what happened? Jace the Mind Sculptor? That's the wrong Jace. How can you even name Jace the Mind Sculptor? I guess it is technically in the client? I'm surprised it lets you name something that's not in the current standard, like the current format that you're sacking the card in. The trauma, that's right. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think you should be able to name something that's not in the format. I don't think that should be a legal play, if I remember correctly. That's how those naming cards work. I think you have to name something that's in the format as, like, format legal. Well, opponent did, in fact, throw this game, so it was very nice of them. Unless they draw exactly a second Stone Brain. But I do not believe we are playing around that. Yeah, Boomer detected is right. Opponent's like, they got that Jace the Mind Sculptor in there somewhere. I know they do. All them kids and their Jace the Mind Sculptors. It is. Yep. We don't technically have a way to mill them out here. But I do think that it was correct for us to just jam the Doomsday Extractor here. That is true. You can't just describe the card, yep. And that's close enough. As long as you can describe it, that is good enough. Opponent doesn't have any 4-drops left in their deck. Let us scry, see if we can find something that mills them. Oh. Well, hey, look at that. Sometimes you just always had it, Chad. It was there the whole time. We got him, chat. We milled him out. Another synthesizer bites the dust. Yep, Jace the Mind Sculptor himself, finishing the game. We did it, chat. We succeeded. We even get a swing for once. Well, opponent did hand us a freebie there, so while we are going to take it and be happy about it, that is a game we should have lost. Earned it. Never didn't have it, chat. We never didn't have it. 100% we take those. There's no complaints here. I think so, yeah. They were trying to find the right Jace card. I still think that with their board position at that time, it was probably better for them just to name Doomsday Extractor. Because, like, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to mill them out at that point before they kill me with, the, artifacts. That's true. It would be very difficult to search for that on mobile. I've never tried to stone and brain anybody on mobile. Are we playing the mirror? I'm a little concerned we're playing the mirror. If it is the mirror, they'll have nothing for this stock up, but I suppose I'm supposed to just duress them and see if they're on blue-black mid or if they're on our deck. I guess they're on double island, so they're probably just on blue-black mid. Just had a slow hand, like a hand of all removal. Yeah. I cannot believe they didn't Fabloom trick me there. So the reason I took the Fabloom trick instead of the Kaito is because if they want to cast Kaito, I can Shieldred's Edict it. And the Fabloom trick's a lot harder for us to interact with, being multiple creatures. Much easier for us to interact with the other. At least currently, with how our hand is positioned. Opponent is wondering if they should slide in that, or flash in that Tishana's Tidebinder. I think the answer is they're probably not supposed to. I think they're just supposed to untap and play Jace. Or not Jace, but Kaito. Supposed to untap and Kaito us and see what happens. It's probably the best course of action for them. What you got, OP? What you got? They're thinking long and hard about this decision. I think they made the right choice. I don't think they're supposed to jam Tishana's Tidebinder there. I think they're just supposed to untap, play Kaito, and probably minus it, or not minus it, but zero it to see what the top two are. That way, if it does die right away, they're in a good spot. That's what I would do if I was opponent. Either way, they're in a pretty rough spot to the Shieldred's Edict. Maybe opponent disappeared. Decided this game wasn't worth it. Where'd you go, OP? Why did you leave us? How am I supposed to playtest my deck if everyone just leaves? We're not stocking up here regardless. We're just going to hold up our cut down and our Shieldred's Edict until they tap out and do some things. Did you get stuff?
Yeah.
I like those colors.
But we don't have an iron.
Ooh.
So I went to Walmart and they didn't have any of the mini irons that I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do some looking online and just print them for tonight.
Okay. Well, if we get, you can order an iron on Amazon. I'm sure to have it here tomorrow, or maybe the next day. Where'd you go, opponent? What a boring match. This could have been a nice, good interactive game, and opponent decided just to leave us high and dry. That didn't give us any good information as to if we want to change anything, so let's continue. This hand has, like... It's definitely a little land heavy. I'd prefer to have 4 lands instead of 5. But it has, like, a good piece of cardboard for a control matchup or an aggro matchup, so I think we're supposed to keep. The matchmaker is on one, you're right. Would they discard a Cankerbloom? Oh, so it's Delirium. I think they're playing 1 Cankerbloom in the main now. Oh, that's an Innkeeper's Talent. Okay, never mind. Interesting. There's like a bigger green-red deck, maybe? I don't see a whole lot of Cankerblooms floating around. I think that card's like pretty good right now, but still not a card you see very much. Oh, they just had a really slow hand? Oh. Oh. We're doing that, are we? We're soul cauldroning. Hey, Hearsay, how's it going tonight? Destroy 20 opponent creatures first match, blue-white control. Ah, gross. That's so sad. I just need to destroy some creatures, and then you play against a literal 0 creature deck, or close to it. Kami. They're playing the combo deck. So I kill this with the Valiant trigger on the stack. Just getting home. Nice, nice. Hopefully you had a good day. Hope everyone in chat's having a good day today. 15-hour day. Oof, that's a rough one. It's a long day. You guys Overlord and Bezel a lot? Hey, that'll work. Usually one of those matchups you expect to not get a challenge like that done, but being able to get it done's nice. I do not need another land. Oh, no, I want the stop. It's not going to give it to me. Fuck. Okay, Jace plus on the Kami, I guess. Cankerbloom. Let's get 2 counters? Oh, whatever, one or more cause replacement. Okay, that's right. That's what that card does. You always forget what that card does. Don't see it a whole lot. Oh, this thing is going to get out of hand real fast. Yup. Yup. They can actually kill our Jace. Like, that is 0 per hour creature, and they're going to get a killer Jace with the same creature. Oh, brutal. Go for Throat's Fine Draw. Getting this thing out of play is going to be nice. Everything's have Ward 1. Things have Ward 1 twice. Kill it. Kill it dead.